Pope Francis died on Easter Monday, April 21, 2025, at the age of 88 at his residence in the Vatican's Casa Santa Marta. At 9:45 a.m., Cardinal Kevin Farrell, camerlengo of the Holy Roman Church, announced the death of Pope Francis from the Casa Santa Marta with these words. Dearest brothers and sisters, with deep sorrow I must announce the death of our Holy Father Francis. At 7:35 this morning, the Bishop of Rome, Francis, returned to the house of the Father. His entire life was dedicated to the service of the Lord and of His Church. He taught us to live the values of the gospel with fidelity, courage, and universal love, especially in favor of the poorest and most marginalized. With immense gratitude for his example as a true disciple of the Lord Jesus, we commend the soul of Pope Francis to the infinite merciful love of the one and Triune God. The director of the Holy See Press Office, Matteo Bruni, told that later on Monday that the late Pope's body could be transferred to St. Peter's Basilica on Wednesday morning, so that the faithful may pray before his mortal remains. The translation of the Holy Father's mortal remains to the Vatican Basilica, for the veneration of all the faithful, may take place on the morning of Wednesday, April 23, 2025, according to the arrangements that shall be determined and communicated tomorrow, following the first congregation of the cardinals, Mr. Bruni said. The rite of the certification of death and placement in the coffin took place on Monday evening at 8 p.m. in the chapel on the ground floor of the late Pope's residence in the Casa Santa Marta. During the rite, the declaration of death was read aloud. The act was validated by Cardinal Farrell, and the ceremony lasted just under an hour. Seals were placed on the papal apartment on the third floor of the Apostolic Palace and on the apartment on the second floor of the Casa Santa Marta, where Pope Francis lived. Mr. Bruni told journalists that, as of Monday evening, Pope Francis' closest collaborators have begun to pay their respects to the late Pope. He said the first general congregation of cardinals will take place on Tuesday morning, during which a date for the funeral may be decided. The Cardinal Camerlengo seals the doors to the papal apartments. Pope Francis was admitted to the Agostino Gemelli Polyclinic Hospital on Friday, February 14, 2025, after suffering from a bout of bronchitis for several days. The Pope's clinical situation gradually worsened, and his doctors diagnosed bilateral pneumonia on Tuesday, February 18. After 38 days in hospital, the late Pope Francis returned to his Vatican residence at the Casa Santa Marta to continue his recovery. Pope Francis pontificated peace, for peace. In 1957, in his early 20s, Jorge Mario Bergoglio underwent surgery in his native Argentina to remove a portion of his lung that had been affected by a severe respiratory infection. As he aged, Pope Francis frequently suffered bouts of respira.